Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Coronation Street spoilers as Rovers return in sudden close. Ryan's left mortified, and Paul says goodbye with fisticuffs. The Rovers Return has been involved in a bit of a roller coaster ride of late after Jenny Connor was forced to sell as the cost of living crisis bit the Weatherfield institution. But the beloved pub faces a sudden closure next week in Coronation Street. However, it's not what it seems. The week starts with viewers seeing Jenny, quite understandably, deeply upset about the murder of her ex-boyfriend Leo Tompkins. Not knowing her new love interest, Stephen Reed, is the murderer. The news leaves the landlady wondering if she should pay Teddy a visit. Stephen tries to quash the idea, but Jenny confides in Glenda Shuttleworth that she's worried about Teddy as he must be grief-stricken, and it seems odd that he's not been in touch regarding Leo's funeral. Jenny calls up the police station and voices her concerns to Craig Tinker. Trying to get away from the situation, Stephen tells Jenny that he wants to take her on holiday to Thailand to get away from everything. But when the Waterford's manager arrives to break the news that they're closing the Rovers for an extensive refurbishment, and their contracts have been terminated with immediate effect, Jenny and the staff are thrown into a spin. Once again, questions will hang over whether they save the beloved boozer. Adam Barlow insists there's a case for unfair dismissal, but when D.S. Swain calls to tell Jenny they now have proof that neither Leo nor Teddy visited Canada, her mind goes elsewhere. As Jenny argues that Teddy contacted Stephen from Canada, Stephen inwardly panics. Meanwhile, Jenny and Stephen end up moving in with Rita Tanner, but assure her that they won't be under her feet for long as hopefully they're off to Thailand. On the street, Jenny, Glenda, Daisy Midgley, Sean Tully and Gemma Winter-Brown watch emotionally as the Waterford's workmen start boarding up the Rovers. But the mood quickly changes when Gemma reveals that she's applied for the deputy manager role with Waterford's, leaving Daisy fuming as she assumed it would go to Jenny. Elsewhere, Billy Mayhew conducts Shelley's funeral, but when Paul stands to say a few words, Shelley's brother objects. Paul rails at Karen for failing to support his sister when she was dying. Karen's furious, and as the two men tussle, Paul accidentally smacks Billy in the face. Following the earlier ruckus, Billy and Paul turn their attention to their nuptials and meet up with the registrar to go over their wedding plans. When Paul requests "Oh Happy Day" for their exit music, the registrar explains they're not allowed religious music at a civil ceremony, leaving Paul gutted. Elsewhere on the cobbles, after finishing another live stream, Ryan Connor receives a message telling him that his filter dropped out and his subscriber recognized him from the papers as the guy who suffered the acid attack. Ryan's thrown into panic and tries to deny it. However, when Suki from the Gazette suit approaches and reveals she's seen some screen grabs from his porn videos, knows that he was the victim of the acid attack and would like to interview him for a story. Ryan left horrified and unaware of what's happened. Carla Connor insists he join her for lunch in the Rovers. But when Izzy Armstrong comes across the Gazette article, he shows it to Glenda, Sean, Carla, Daisy and Daniel Osborne. As he returns from the loo, a mortified Ryan realizes they're all talking about him. Later, when Lauren Bolton clocks Ryan looking at flats to rent, she offers him the spare room at her precinct flat. Carla and Daisy are concerned as Ryan moves out, trying to make amends for his jealous behavior. Daniel helps Ryan carry his things into the flat. But when some lads make jibes at Ryan about his scars, he turns on them in a rage. Daniel intervenes. However, as he picks up Ryan's things, he notices the stash of testosterone. Following his discovery, Daniel asks Ryan if he'd be prepared to give a talk to the STC students about the impact violent crime as on its victims, but Courtney Vance puts pressure on Adi Allahan to find them somewhere to live. Telling her he loves her, a besotted Adi promises to get onto it straight away. And so when Bernie Winter reveals that Shelley's old flat is up for rent, Adi's delighted while Steve glowers at his partner. It's not long before Adi and Courtney announce that they're moving into Shelley's old flat. Courtney tells Adi that she'll sell her rings towards the deposit, and with the rest of the cash they can go out and celebrate. Courtney drags Adi to the bistro where a golf club bash is also going on. Seeing it as a great opportunity to wind ex-husband Darren up, Courtney snogs the face off Adi while talking loudly about their new flat. Dev can barely watch as Adi and Darren square up. Bernie orders calm, but as they leave she warns Courtney that she knows her game, It's obvious she's using Addie when she's still in love with Darren. Meanwhile, Darren takes Dev to one side and offers him £5,000 to split up Courtney and Addie. Dev returns home and, pulling out the £5,000, tells Courtney it's hers if she dumps Addie. Will she take the bait? If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.